I'm sure why am I here today is the House of Waqf, and I'm an largely in that respect. I'm a student. All the same, the volunteers, I hope you all know that what I'm going to do is also Waqf. Because volunteers are also a form of Waqf. It's Waqf of Amal, as she said, or Waqf al-Mubashir. We have also done that in medical doctors, when we go out to give services, health and medical services to individuals, and we invite health workers, doctors, nurses, pharmacists to provide services as workers, and that's what we wash your home, work of Al-Amal. So volunteerism in the context of this particular gathering of most Nigerian Muslims is a form of work. So it's not a Jariya. And I also quickly want to tell you something about the Suleiman Araji, Abdulaziz Araji, that given all his work $50 million for work. Now, particularly, I want to tell AL-HABIBIYYAH, and the new guest here, that there is successful, there's Islamic World International Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, just like UNESCO, that they're establishing a whole component of Waqf development project. And Araji has promised $500 million for that Waqf component, which I believe this institution will really find gainful by attracting them. So what is interesting is Nigerian is Fiscal Commission. The president is the Minister of Education, and the director is the Secretary General in the Ministerial Extension here in Abuja. And there's a Nigerian officer, Mala Yusuf Kasena, who is in Morocco, heading being an expert on partnerships and international cooperation. So we are all cooperating with them to see how Nigeria can tap into that. And they want to bring their first national conference here in Nigeria on Waqf development project, global Waqf development project. And Araji said he's ready to visit or get certificates. Then quickly, I also want to tell this very important gathering that please we should deploy Waqf products and services into Al-Majiri and other school education reforms. It's a very, very important area of potential that Nigerians in the north, and particularly in the north and the south, can really work on, so that this issue of Al-Majiri children and their education is reformed for the better for all of us. There is a very long discussion. There will be time for me to discuss on what the Honorable Minister of Education is doing at the Minister of Education on aligning out of school children reforms. I want to tell you that honestly, the Federal Ministry of Education under Dr. Tunji Alausa are doing a lot in that respect. The federal government has done what no other government have done in that area, in mainstreaming and integrating the Al-Majiri system of education in dignity and respect for that individual system of education. Because now it's law and it's settled, and I want to repeat, it's law and it's settled. Al-Majiri and their schools are students, and their malams are also recognized as teachers, and their schools are learning centers. So Al-Majiri is not out of school any longer in this country. That is very, very important, because all through what has been happening is that it's a system of indigenous system, and it's a indigenous system of education in Nigeria, whether in West Africa, Ghana, Mali, in India or Pakistan, that the colonials came and abolished. There are two things that abolished when they came. When the Soviet Caliphate fell, 1943, two major things in the next decade that Dr. did to destroy our indigenous economic, social, and educational structure was to declare Al-Majiri state education as all proponents will be as illiterates. There was an edict to that. He declared them illiterates, and they didn't only do that in Nigeria. They did it in Ghana, they did it in Pakistan, they did it. All indigenous systems of education are not recognized. And they had a meeting where they gave up in the school that all forms of education that's outside their own Western colonial system are not recognized. They are informal and they will be defunded. They won't be defunded. Let me tell you, when they came to Nigeria, there was no Nigeria then, there are more than 50,000 education inspectors in Sokoto Caliphate alone, not Sarakuna Malame. But they all abolished that. And what was more painful was taxes. Taxes that were collected from farmers, from those who bring animals, taxes from height and skin, taxes from groundnut, taxes from everything. They were used to fund the colonial system. They channeled that money to fund conventional schools, wholesale education, and missionary schools, and they refused Ahmadiyya schools. So it was like this common idea that they are robbing Peter to pay Paul. Monies from these same people, particularly in northern Nigeria, were not used to support that system. I saw a letter written by AL-HABIBIYYAH that said the system where the current colonial government is using taxpayers' money from our communities of farmers, cattle rearers, industries, and artisans and whoever to pay for Western education system and also other missionary systems. And they refuse to pay to fund Quranic schools is something I will not agree to. And I, as the great son of Shosman of Udu, will never accept that. There is a letter and a document that he wrote like that. So in essence, the issue of marginal place, seen in the context of the international context, is all indigenous education. Traditional institutional system that have been there, that for their own colonial and expansionist benefits, they started to abolish. And it didn't only happen in the north of the land. For example, please think of the Benin Empire. How could you say they have no system of education with the craft and the science and engineering they have with metals, with bronzes, and sculpturing, and their gates and other works? Mali Empire, Ghana Empire, Songhai Empire, they all had education systems. In India they had, but they all abolished all. So, and that system honestly made us to think like them, dress like them, eat like them, and always have a consumer mentality to their own product. And that's where we are today. So maybe in a nutshell, maybe at another time we can have an extended discussion of what's been done. This Monday, the Ministry of Education, under the leadership of the Minister, is launching the National Policy on Al-Majiri Education at the Federal Ministry of Education this coming Monday. There are 7 characteristics there. There will be no child about children. In that system, no child will be begging. Every child will be in school in dignity and honor that he deserves. There is parental responsibility, community responsibility, state responsibility, everybody's responsibility is clearly set out. So finally, the most important component of all of what we are doing about education in Nigeria honestly rests with the states. The state governments must do their own part. But as I've said, that's another discussion. And again, there are other areas that have to do with legislation and policy of Waqf, which I think time will not allow me, but I just want to speak to them quickly. We have attempted, we have made proposals and submitted memoranda to the Constitutional Amendment Committee of the National Assembly to amend the Constitution to allow areas of Waqf investment in Nigeria to be more flexible, because as it is now, taxes and other laws of the Federation do not allow Waqf to go on as it is. The Land Use Act is also a challenge, because if you give Waqf forever, well, Land Use Act after 100 years it goes to the government, so that means another area they were making to amend and amend it. So we are working also in that area, constitutional amendment. And then there's the issue of the National Commission for Waqf, which some people are discussing about. We'll continue discussion and see the possibility of that. But the states that primarily have, for example, Muslim majority population, what are they doing about it? Look at Almighty Kano. Kano, Waqf programs for electricity in Kano are in shambles. Kano need to speak up. So Ojo is ahead of Kano.
No, Kano appointed. They appointed their commission, the chairman and the MD.
Yeah, because we called Kano last year over in the national number. Kano, it's a Chicago was Zakat, 1.4 billion collection. Lagos 600 million. Kano was nowhere to be found. So we call out the Kana. Honestly, we flock them and we continue to flock Kana wherever and we tell them they should do something about Waqf and Zakat and Kano. Because if Kano here, let me flog him. Finally, sir, I really want to thank our women. And we want to thank our women for their contribution to Islam. Honestly, we are so proud of our women, their potential to continue to be brought up, sir. Thank you. From Nana Khadija to Aisha Ridela, to this now woman that said founded that university. Many things concerning economics, knowledge in Islam, even Hajj. From Hajjara, they are from women. We need to tell the story about the contribution of women in Islam and in its entirety. The core business concept of Islam and economy is from Khadija with Prophet Muhammad. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. Lagos was more than 1 billion naira this year. Gigawa, I was there when they divorced the last year's own. I was part of it, where they did it about 1.7 billion. Which they did. And this year they have done more than that. They have done more than that. Later the year has not come to an end.
So we have Kano would be
no, Kano, because of the politics of Kano, that's all. But alhamdulillah, they are getting better now.
But sir, there is no politics in Waqf.
No, I know, you know that. I met somebody who told, he said he told Dan Tata, these people are not doing Waqf, they are not paying your zakat. He said, we are paying zakat. He said, but you people will not understand that it is you people. You know you people manners. So
AL-HABIBIYYAH is providing the platform as well as providing the platform. Trust is an issue, but with this platform and as well, I think that should be.
No, we don't mean it. We cannot praise ourselves, but the experience I have with the building. Okay.
It's Chairman. I'm from Kano State. I'm not standing to defend the state, what the chairman mentioned. But what I would like to say is, I know people do it individually, silently, without really coming to the contemporary societies that are managing the work. On individual basis, I know people are doing this. Provide, especially those that have an idea, those that have knowledge. But as I mentioned in my first speech, a lot of people are not aware of. They are aware of the concept and the work and they know it, but to come to an organization like this to do it, they are not doing it. They are doing it personally on their own. I know a lot of people that build houses and put it in Waqf on their own. They don't have any, they don't come to societies or trust or any organization that's managing this. But this is our work, as Mr. Chairman mentioned. It's something that we need to improve, make it more and more, enlighten more people. Don't do it alone. Come to the societies where we manage for you properly.
Thank you, sir.
Because if you do it, you alone, you are appointed somewhere, one manager will be managing it for you. Along the line, 2 houses, 3 houses will be lost. Yeah. For example, I know somebody that he has his houses in London, he put it in Waqf. But let me tell you, in London, if you are paying your taxes, all your dues for your houses, and they know your family is aware, if you die today, they will give you only 40% of that value, the value of that house. Or they will give their family, not you, since you are poor. So your family will be entitled to pay 40%.
So I think Waqf works better.
Yes, sir.
By far. And if you have the reward continuously.
Exactly.
But fortunately, if you do that the other way, the reward will not be continuous.
It will not be continuous.
So if you do it the Waqf way, your children will enjoy it, and your reward will still continue on the day of the Qiyamah.
So I want the chief imam to please explain the difference between foundation and work.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people are making the mistake of deciding to do foundation.
Yes,
Is foundation the same?
it's almost the same.
Yes.
But it's only the money difference. And the some people that are establishing foundation, I'm sorry, they don't understand the concepts. They just say they establish foundation, they are helping the widows, they are helping this. How do you fund that foundation? That is number one. Okay. The foundation, many people have interest, but they don't know how to go about it. That is incidentally too, sir. The issue of that foundation they are doing was actually from our home. They just copy it. I want you to read the book, The Islamic Origin of Western Legal System. So most of the things which they do, and they are proud of their doing, they are actually copied from us. They readjusted it like our crude oil. They take it from us, they take it there, refine it, and resend it back to us. That's exactly about Islam and the Western world. In Al-Qarawiyyin, 3 of their alumni was a book. The 3 of the alumni that passed through that university, they became Pope. I don't know the point I'm trying to raise is that they copy it from us, they readjusted it, they resend it to us. So it is their own foundation. For example, we were being supported to do this thing, enlightenment throughout Nigeria by MacArthur Foundation. When MacArthur was alive, he was the second richest American president in 1978. American business person. He had about $4 billion. He now handed it over. He set up a foundation. He called his friends. They now registered it. When they registered it, now all his business were continuous. Then it is the money, the gain they were now using for all this that. And they have paid not less than 1 billion people. And the money that he left behind now, 4 billion, is now about 8 billion. And they are still helping people for more than 50 years. Since that time up to today. So it is almost the same, but the sincerity and the ethics of it is different. And that is why Islam, like sukuk and bonds. You know, sukuk and bonds, they are almost the same thing. But the only difference is the ethics that is involved in the bond. You can't cheat. What it is what you said if you do that will be used for. And so that is just the difference. And the godliness of the worker. But probably what you do for us, the next month is January. You can call, invite your friends. 5, 6, 7, 10, tell them to invite their friends. Post our next monthly workout. Please, we will take your number. We will only provide the logistics for you. You will call all your friends. 5, 10, 15 is enough. It's not a huge something. So, what date should you choose in January? Middle, we have 16 Saturday. We will add 7 with it. 7 plus 16 is how much? 23. Now, 23. Probably 23. We will make January 23. Will it be convenient? You know, for those who travel, they will have come back. We make January 23. So you and your friends, you are the one that will be hosting. We provide all the other logistics. Just tell them 1 hour, 30 minutes. We're over. Please. We are very proud of the capital, honestly, and of course everyone in there. But Kano is one state where we can have, I'm telling you, at a go, 100, 200 people that can give 1 billion naira without feeling. We have trillionaires. Who was that? So, and they have one thing about Waqf.
the main difference also, as we said, sir, between Waqf and foundation. Waqf is rooted in the Quran and in the Sunnah. But the foundation is a personal, private thing. So they are totally different. And Waqf is a global industry. It's over $1 to $2 trillion that you can plug into to bring that benefit to your local environment. And the zakat being given in Kano, as you have said, is given by individual. But that's why the problem is, sir. That's fragmentation. And that's why we continue to have the massive social economic problems we still have in Kano. Beggars everywhere, miscreants, unemployed youth, poor infrastructure. The budget of Waqf alone of the Kano will be more than the budget of the Kano state government.
In fact, more than budget of Nigeria.
I'm telling you. So Kano can do this.
Kano alone.
If you host this on Kano, we also invite our friends who are